and then just make sure everything's clean. Yeah, make sure all the mirrors are done. Mirrors. So you coming in next week or not?
Do you want to log on and see if you can see that, David? Cool. All right. Let's see if that works. All right. See you, man. What's he doing?
Kenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I'll be out now.
Everybody's got it.
Perfect.
Where can I plug?
Head rushing.
Just in there.
Okay, cool.
Jimmy.
You said cleaning up. I'm getting.
Yeah, that's why I closed the door.
Sorry, but he just came and gave us a watching. Sorry, but.
You got the.
So you don't want us to come in then?
No, that's okay.
Is that all?
I'll come out. I'll come out.
I'm going to pull you forward a little bit. Yeah. Just so I can get behind it. Okay, perfect. That's good. Yeah. Just don't think. Thank you.
How loud is he?
Super.
Welcome to the live, guys. This is literally it. All right, cool. I'm gonna make sure all of our students here. Ronan, Keanu, first fade. What's he doing, right?
That's the one.
Yes, sir.
Is that bright enough for you, mate?
Yeah, it's perfect.
I'm blind, so.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start off with a question?
Yes, sir.
All right, I've got a question straight up. Oh yeah. No. Okay, so when doing a first fade like you were doing,
Yeah.
what is your kind of setup for it? So where are you even starting off here? Because I know a lot of people always say, how far behind the year do you go and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your kind of setup there for it?
So where I start would be fringe, okay, before I even get there. So what my setup is looking like, right, is asking the client if they usually see in the mirror, whenever there's a mirror there in front of you, you're like, do I want to see a load of weight here? Do you like it thicker at the back? Do you like it thinner at the back? Do you like it to a V? Then you're talking about a different haircut then. With Keanu, I know we've discussed this loads and loads of times, and he's given me a couple of videos and stuff like that. He doesn't like going too much behind the ear. So you can probably see what happens now, right? It's actually quite thick at the back. And there's still a little bit of hair there. We're going to do similar, but we're going to do slightly higher here. We're going to take up the fringe and then texture at the top. And not too much at the top, no?
I was thinking maybe you can take
it off. Okay, perfect. Excellent.
So it's not so heavy.
Yeah, that's my whole thinking about it. Burst fades, there's 100 different burst fades that you can do. You can do high that goes back and it's quite skinny at the back. You can see it here. It goes the whole length of his neck back here. Yeah. Okay. So as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the fringe. I'm going to get that length first, and then I'm going to work back, do the top. Take some length off the back, do a bit of graduation into where I'm going to put my clip of work, and then I'll probably start with maybe 2.5 or 2 to start off my burst fade. Do you want to bit off the back as well?
Sorry.
Want a bit off the back as well?
Yeah, take a little bit off. I think it's getting a little bit too low for me.
Okay. Sick.
I gotta go.
the devil on that? Jeez.
Right.
It's literally like, what do you mean?
I think it's
Seriously.
So.
This is how bringing everybody's food out.
So, what I'm looking to make this hairline nice and dense. I don't want to take too much off, say, these parts. Okay. I'll show you how I start. I'll show you how to keep this a wee bit thicker if you're trying to maintain the thickness in these parts. Okay. So this is the reason why I start the fringe. That's my focal point. That's the part that I need to make sure it looks good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go see where the hairline is, what angle it's going at, and I'm going to do a section from the front the same as what the hairline is saying to me. Okay? If I go in and go straight across like this, hold this down, you can see it's quite light here. Okay? So I want to make sure that this is going straight across, and that's all of the hair that I'm taking in. Okay? I'm going to start on this side. We said that we want to take a little bit off, not too much. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, when I finish that, I'm going to take another section just behind us and pull down straight. Okay? And I'm not going to go blunt straight across because Keanu said that he wanted it less blunt as we usually do. Okay? I take another section, and you do that until no more hair reaches. Okay? So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to start from here and I'm going to go into the center. Same exact thing. Cutting into it. So it's not too blunt. It is going to be blunt, but not too blunt. And before I move on, just going to double check. Make sure we're nice and even. Now, one thing with the fringes is that you can see that it slightly kind of went up towards the corners. This is going to give that like more sharper and sharper look to it, right? If I go more straight across and down, it'll make it look a wee bit softer. It's gonna tail off. It's not gonna look as sharp. Okay, so that's the reason why we just pull up a little bit and then we make them corners nice and dark. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, as I said, the reason why I did the fringe first is so I can get the guide from the top. So I'm gonna do a profile down the middle. Make sure that section's nice and clean. Not too thick of a section. I'll pull that straight up. You can see from here, You can see the length that I've just cut there, and you can see this little peak here. Okay, we don't want to take all that peak off. We're going to texturize it on top. Okay, take a small bit off. Okay, so I'm going to go in there and cut into this. Straight up. Small bit of length off, but mainly adding texture into it. Straight back. Now in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with vertical sections. So rather than going across, pulling up, and then cutting into it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that section that I've just done in two, put it across to the side because I don't need it anymore, but making sure that I have a little guide coming in here. I'm going to work vertically this way. Stand on this side. Check my guide. Okay. Same thing. Now when we come here, as I said, we don't want to take too much of that peak off because that's what's giving us the weight that's going to make this look a wee bit darker. Okay. Turn that all down. Same thing, split that in two, push that out of the way, make another section, straight up. And this last section that comes towards the side where the head starts to round, I'm going to pull that out like this. You'll see a guide there, and just point cut into that too. Okay. Make sure whenever you're doing this that you're keeping the hair wet, because there's no point in doing one side wet and the other side dry, because they're going to be two different lengths whenever you cut them. Okay, go back to the middle, split that in two. We don't need this side anymore, so take it out of the way. Put that in. Then back the hair, you'll see. Okay.
What do you mean?
When I start to get to these points here, where I'm going on to, I'm going to slightly bring it out from the section, like this. Okay, so see from this side, I'm going to bring it, push it out like this, so it's coming out 90 degrees from it. This, what this is going to do is going to make a rounder shape this way. Okay, so it's going to hook here a wee bit better, because we don't want loads and loads of weight there. We want a bit of weight that we can sweep forward here. We don't want loads and loads of weight there. Same thing. Just do it with guidance. And point cut. We can do this all blunt, but I want to add as much texture as I can, so when it comes to styling, it's going to be nice and easy for Keanu, yeah? Thing. And the last section, like I said, on the other side, comes out this way. Now before I move on, I'm just going to cross-check quickly. A little bit there. When you point cut, there will be a little bit of inconsistency, but it shouldn't be too much. So move it back here at the back. Okay. Right. When I've done the top, when I'm happy with the top, I'm going to move on to the back. Okay. Swap. Okay. So how I usually do the back is this one down. Yes, I can go in and do like vertical sections and make it square like this. But I find sometimes if you're in a shop, it's not going to do. It's going to take you a bit too long. So I'm going to show you how to do it a little bit quicker. Right? So you can sit your head down. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the scissors in like this. That's going to lift up the hair for me. I'm going to stamp it down like this so it's all together. I'm going to cut straight across. Okay. Next section in, cut straight across. Next section, cut straight across. I'm going to work that all the way down to the very bottom. And yes, I don't want to cut that bottom too short, so then I won't get a nice line up, okay? So once I've done that, I'm going to go all the way back up, and I'm basically going to do like scissors over comb, just to make sure it's all nice and clean, okay? Step off to the right, and I'm going to take my guide from the middle. I'm going to take the guide from the middle and cut. It's the exact same thing all the way down. Okay, and then all the way back up. Left hand side. Same thing. See the guide in the middle. Cut across. Same thing. Okay, I'm going to do one more section on the sides before I do my graduation. All the way over to this side. Same thing. Okay. Now I already have that shape in what me and Keanu always do. So I'm going to do my scissors. I'm just going to clean that up. And at the end, then I'll do it. My trimmer's going to strike. Okay? So I'm going to do that same shape. Okay. I'm going to start on the left-hand side. Same thing, make sure it's nice and wet. There's not going to be too much to graduate here, it's quite short already. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to graduate this in like this. And graduate all the way to the front. Okay. So that my clipper can go into it nice and easily. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom, flip around, go up underneath, And there's a small bit there.
Can I ask questions on this?
No, I think so. I'm not sure. I can see either.
That's pretty
Yeah, I can see it. Oh, at the front. Just working this forward, graduating it. Just going to make my life a little bit easier. When it comes to the front, we don't want to take that fringe in. Same thing as what I said before. Here. If I take all that in, I can make a little hole here. So whenever I do, I have to make sure that I over-direct it back to here. See that little bit there? Going forward, see how it sits. Sits a wee bit nicer now. Okay, I'll repeat this on the other side.
You put one of these in.
Same thing as before. Boom back. Just so we can leave that way just towards the fringe. Okay. Now I've done the fringe, I've done the top, I've done the back. I'll put some product in, dry it out, and then we can get into the fading. Okay. So I use first the seesaw spray.
Show.
Sponsored by.
This shit makes so much noise.
That's all mixture. So what I like to do first is I like to blow dry down the part where I'm gonna put my clipper. Okay. Section it in the way or blow dry the way that it wants to sit. Okay.
Buddy.
Okay.
Section of diamond forge, blow dry diamond forge.
Okay, so once that's bone dry, then we can move on to the other side. Swap hands. To utilize using both hands when you're using the hairdryer. Makes your life a lot easier. And then I'm going to blow dry the fringe straight down. Okay? So in a shop, you don't always have time to blow dry the whole thing out. Okay? But them little parts, so the sides where I'm going to clipper, I don't want to use my clipper with wet hair because it'll clog them up. The fringe, that has to be dry. But the rest of it, right, I have the sea salt spray in there. I'm just going to muddle it around like this. Small little blast dry maybe. And I'm going to let it do its thing while I'm doing my clippers. Okay? This is saving me time in the barber shop, for sure. But just tell the client that I'm just going to leave this a little bit wet, and then I'll diffuse it then at the end. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to start on the right hand side, okay?
What's left?
Left hand side. For them it looks like right hand side, yeah? Alright, so I'm going to start on this side. Right. And I'm going to start with my 2, okay? Because I've done my graduation, I know that if I do a 2, 2.5, it's going to slip right into that nicely, okay? It's not going to be too much work then after. That's why I do so much of my scissor work. We wanted to go a little bit higher than we did the last time. Keanu was asking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my 2 and go right up into my graduation. Flicking out. In, flick out like that. Okay? You can see with a 2, 2.5, it's not making any lines. Okay? It's going to be really easy for me scissor or comb to make that look nice and clean. I'm just putting that just slightly behind here, not too much, but slightly. Right up. And it's matching up where the fringe is, okay? Slide that for 2. Put that right up underneath where I've just done my 2.5. Making sure I'm happy enough with that shape before I move on. Okay?
Can you smile or anything, right?
So, are you gonna ask his questions or?
Oh, do you want me to ask? You want me to ask the next one?
I was saying, can the chat? Can they chat like ask questions through that?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Chat. Chat. Is that what they say? Is that what the cool people say?
Hey, chat.
Hey, chat.
You think you're a Twitch streamer, do you?
Hey, hey, chat, bro.
I got one, yeah, hang on. Let me get it up on my phone.
Here's the question.
Give it to me.
I'm not asking you, Keanu.
Long romantic walks on the beach.
Yes.
That's what I like.
Let's have a look here.
Oh, we've got a no question. It's a statement.
What's it say?
Fair enough.
From Matthew. It's from Matthew from the Brisbane.
Nanda, you were cool. Says Matthew. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Okay, so are you? Do you have a question there? Or
Go on, mate, keep on going and I'll jump in.
So I've done this shape here at my 2, okay? If I go and do a different shape at my 0, the whole fade is going to look wonky. It's going to look off, okay? So I'm going to do with my 0, closed, no guard. I'm not going to do it with my trimmers because I find whenever you do it with your trimmers, it's so hard to take out. You're spending more time trying to take out the trimmer line than you are fading, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go behind the ear, in with the corner of my clipper. I'm going to go the same exact shape, but lower from the chin, okay? Into the front here, do the exact same thing. Okay. Now I've done that, I'm going to do a little sliver with my 0. Okay.
No, a little sliver.
A little sliver.
I got a question.
Go for it.
What's the biggest mistake barbers make when attempting a burst fade? What do you reckon? What's one you see a lot of the students?
If they leave too much weight, and like I said, I graduated from the bottom up here, leaving too much weight here, and then they go and do their burst fade, and there's a load of hair hanging over here. So if you do that graduation like I did here, starting from here, graduated into what you've done here at the back, even though it might be a massive mullet at the back, if you still graduate it in, it's still going to look good. It's not going to have that bulk overhanging there. It's the biggest thing I see.
Yeah, I agree.
And they struggle with the angles.
Yeah.
So you can see with my angle, it looks pretty straight, right? My 0 actually follows his hairline, okay? So I don't need to fade that out, okay? So it looks pretty straight. I see a lot of people, they do these big curved lines and they're more focused about trying to take it out with a straight object, which they're not going to do, and take it in parts, and then they either take it up or down. But there's actually one of the students at the moment that's figured out a very good way of doing it, right? And it's going more of a boxy shape, like an L. It's sort of what I've done there, like this.
I know of it.
I wonder who that is. If you go up like this and like that, you can fade it in both ways. So one like this, one like this. You're not worried about that corner, okay? But it's kind of similar to what I've done here. It just makes my life a wee bit easier. They're the kind of biggest mistakes I see. All right, so underneath that, I'm going to do my trimmer. Okay. The other reason why I didn't want to go in with my trimmer is that I'm going gradually down. Okay. I've done my 0, which was this, which I indented. I did a little bit up the way. I've done a trimmer into it. There's still no lines there. Okay. If you don't put in a line, you don't have to take it out. Okay. Very simple. So I'm going to go in. I've already done my trimmer, so this should just float into this nicely. Okay. More pressure towards the bottom of it, less pressure as I get up to my trimmer line. Okay. And now I don't have to take out any lines. Okay. Quickest and easiest way to do it, but still nice and sharp. You're still getting it down to skin. Okay. So to take out this line, all I need to do is 0 on this. If I had a trimmer line in there, the only thing to take out that trimmer line is the trimmer line. Okay? So you're saving yourself a few steps there. And it looks cleaner. Okay? So exactly the same. I'm going to go in with my 0.5. To about there. Okay. That allows the C cup to stay a little bit dark around a 1-ish, so it's going to look nice and clean whenever I line it up. Okay. Following the same shape as my 2 and my 0 line. Oh, my 5. Just behind there. Okay. And I'm happy with that. Don't move on if you're not happy. Just go back in there if you want to do that 0.5 again. Okay. When you're done that, 0.25, so halfway in between your 0 and your 0.5, 2 clicks there, and you're going to go halfway between the 0.5 line and the 0, and you're going to knock out that 0 line. Okay. Don't worry too much if that line doesn't come out straight away. Okay. Sometimes it might be just really dense and coarse hair, and if that's the case, we'll go back to a 0. But you can see that's pretty much came out with my 0.25. Okay. But I'll still always go in there and make sure that's all clean with my 0. Okay. And I'm flicking between both, and I'm refining as I go along. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Alright. So when I'm happy, so far I've done my 2, I've done my 0, I've done my trimmer, and I've done my scale. I've done my 0.5, my 0.25, and my 0. Okay? The only line that I have left to take out is my 0.5 line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work down from my 2 to take out that line. Okay? So 1.5 open, which is a 2, and that can go right up to where I've done my 2 anyway. Okay? I just find that this one's a little bit shorter, so it can get us nice and close again. Closed. And now flick out. Don't flick out too early, and don't flick out too late. Okay, happy with that. I'm going to go 1 open. And look at the testing it out first. Making sure I'm not making any new lines. Okay. 1 closed. You see, it's pretty much nearly gone. Okay. I haven't even got down to my half there. Okay. Okay. Half guard open. This is where I can make my lines, so I'm going to go in a wee bit more cautiously here. I'm going to use my corners. I'll push them up so I can see underneath the fade as well. Oh, that's my knees. Yeah. Looks pretty good. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, so I'm gonna line it up. Here. As I said, remember I kept the 0.5 a wee bit lower so I can line up these parts so they're a wee bit darker. Okay. So go in. This first part is nice and straight. Okay. And I'm going to go from the bottom. Curve. Make sure that's nice and neat. Big spider. You're from Australia, man. You should be used to it. Big ass spider. Right. Just gonna move the French out of the way. Make sure these are nice and sharp. The vertical bars. In, strike down, in, strike down. Okay. Now, as I said, kids, I like to refine as I go along. So I'm going to get a skinnier comb. And I'm going to clip her over comb my fade. I'm not going to worry about just above the fade. I'm going to worry about the fade at the moment. Just little blotches, just to refine as I go along. Yeah. So I can see a little part there. Put the comb in. This is my first. Just going to make sure that's all clean.
Whoa.
Right. Put the set down. Push all this hair this way. I'm just going to line up this part just behind here. I'm going to grab my wall comb or my wider comb. I'm going to blend in this just above the fade area. Okay? Straight in. I'm going to use it open first. Go in and lightly just feather it. There doesn't need to be too much work done here. Woo! Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm bored. Thank you so far. You guys.
Good out on that. Just throwing it there. Alright. Before I move on, just gonna do this is real cool. Soften the leaf further. Push. like I did with my scissors, I'm just going to go over, make sure it's all nice and clean with my trimmers. Start from the middle. Make sure that's perfect. I can do this, I can turn them off to the side like this. You can get a better line up that way. Let's finishing touches on this side. Perfect. Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just showing the boys. Right. So nothing changes for this side. Yeah. Nothing changes for this side. Same exact things. Right, what time? Right, so same thing. Number 2. I know with the 2, the last time I went up to the fringe, so exact same thing, and I dipped it just behind the ear. So that's how I know it's the same on the other side. Okay. 2. Okay. Flippers. Underneath it, the 0. Okay. And I'll do this side a little bit quicker, so you can see how I would do it in the barber shop. Trimmer up into it. And make sure I'm flicking out before I get to my 0 line, because I don't want to indent another line there, okay? All there. With a ball, we have to flick out as well. If we don't, we're going to make that really harsh line. It's really hard to take out. Okay. Okay, so stay in line with my 0.5. Starting off just behind the ear. Just leaving that part just around the temple key point. 0.25. 2. Nice and easy. Okay, 1.5 open. It's right up underneath my 2. Closed. Okay, 1. Open. It's like right up into what I've just done. It's still lower. Making sure that when I'm fading down, I'm not going as high as the last number. Because you're going to push it right into it and you're going to make a new line. Okay? So closed. Now I'm just flicking between both just to make sure I'm refining them as I go along. Half open. And closed. Back to open. Make sure I haven't missed any hairs. I'm just going to put back on 1 open. Just take that out of the hard higher. Okay. Doing my trimmers. I'm going to line up this. Start off straight. Middle finger goes up against his face. So he moves, I move. Circle motions up towards the top. Like that. Invert the clipper like a pencil. Move that hair out of the way because we don't want to touch that. And drag it down. Make sure that's nice and sharp. Pull in here. Use the trimmer in with the comb. Take out any little spots that you can see within the fade. Okay. Going back to my bigger comb. Open first. Nice and soft. Just blending that back in. Tying it all together. Same thing now, coming around to the back. Make sure this behind here is nice and clean. All the neck's clean. To the back. Matching that back up. Matching that back up. Saving all them hairs down in there. Just them all off. Okay. You can see it's still a little bit wet. As I said before, now I can go and diffuse it. Okay. If you didn't have time, it's okay to let the client out like that because it's still nearly dry. But you'll have to saving yourself 5 minutes there. But if you have that 5 minutes at the end to pull it all together, then do it. Yeah.
First class. How do you look, mate? That's all that matters. You look all right? Yeah, pretty. That's all right.
If I see any little parts that come towards the front, I'm just going to go in there while it's dry. Just make a little bit. Comb it down, see how it looks. That's perfect. Try not to do too much. Okay. Comb it down. If it needs a little bit more, then do it. Okay.
Did you see what they said?
No, it's a
Clean.
clean bit. Just going to go in at this front part here. Just going to give it a little bit more texture there. Small bit. Okay. I'm going to diffuse this and put a little bit of dust into it. And then I'm just going to fade in his beard that way. This Keanu has a hot day apparently. He's the lucky fella.
Yes. That's got a haircut to do.
What?
I got a haircut to do.
Yeah.
That's my hot dog.
He's the lucky guy. Right. So when I'm diffusing, I'm getting in there and I'm scrunching. I don't necessarily put it on the head like this. I can, but I find I get a better result whenever I'm scrunching. One of the most common things that I see with beginner barbers as well is they get to the stage where they've done a lovely fade and they're really happy with it. And they let the client out without fading in the beard. Now, I know beard trim costs more, but what we're doing is not a beard trim, okay? I can show you how fast it can happen, but it can look so much different, okay? So I'm just going to make sure that these are both lined up, okay? Let's say we're not going to do Keanu's beard because we're not going to, okay?
What?
I'm gonna hop on a 1. Okay, I'm gonna open it all the way in, flick out 1, 0.5, 0.25. Okay. So I really want to be precise. I'll go in my half guard, but I don't need to. Okay. If it's something longer, like my beard would be, what I would do first is I would go in with a 2, like this, but we don't need to do this with Keanu. We'll tilt this head off like this, and we'll strike that like this, okay? What you're doing with that is you're getting that 2 guard in there, but you're flicking it out the way. Make sure you don't go all the way down because you'll take too much off. You're flicking it in and then out, okay? Then when you've done that, then you can put a 2 on and do the exact same thing. Let's say you're in a walk-in shop and there's no one else there and they're happy enough. He still doesn't want a beard trim. Still clean up the little parts from. Just behind here. Make sure that's all clean. And over here. Big line up. Now, there's a lot of times where I worked in a barber shop, especially a walk-in shop, and then you would upsell straight away because when they see you doing a little bit more with the beard, they go, just give us a beard trim. And then you go, well, this is extra. Perfect. You're after upselling there. The boss is going to be happy. Simple as. Okay? All right? And if you have the time, upsell. Do you know what I mean? Okay. 1 open, 1 closed, 0.5, 0.25, and that's it. Okay. Do you have any more questions from me before I finish up?
Yeah, what's your best advice on blending in that beard? I find a lot of the students struggle with that. Yeah, perfect. Because what's your kind of what's the best way to explain this? You know how some people how I like mine really low, same as yourself, right?
Okay, yeah.
How would you recommend that to someone? If somebody said, what would you kind of recommend for me? You know what I mean? So say you know how Keanu likes his beard.
Yeah, I know Keanu doesn't like it like we do.
Exactly.
So to be fair, straight off the bat, I know that Keanu doesn't like that. But if it's a client that you want to show off their features, okay? If a client that has like a rounder feature like me, right? I like mine cut down a wee bit lower so it slims in this part, okay? And with my lineup, I like it to be straight, not curved.
Yeah.
Okay? Curved line on sharper features, right? So Keanu, I'll do more of a curved line. He doesn't need a straight line. But rounder cheeks or bigger fellas, basically, you would make it look straight. Okay, that's going to show off their cheekbone. It's going to make them look a little bit nicer. That's the main thing. I don't like too much length around here, around the cheek. I find whenever they look straight into the mirror, that's the widest part of their face. So if there's more length there, their face is going to look bigger.
Yep.
Right. So with Keanu, I know he doesn't like it too low, but I've taken off where the widest part is, and then I've just blended it in just underneath that. Line underneath the neck is a big one that people struggle with, and where to go with it. So my biggest advice is put your hand in an L, put the L, the middle of the L, in where their cheek is. The bottom of my thumb is where his line should be, so his line's perfect for him. Okay. The other thing that you have to take into consideration, right, or what you can do, is put the comb in with the jaw. That's the angle of his jaw. So to create loads of nice symmetry and make it suit him, I'm gonna go down, straight down, same angle to where the bottom of my thumb was, and then that's your line.
Nice.
I'm not going to demonstrate that.
No.
I think someone gets back.
Sorry, Ace.
Everyone's blinded.
Yeah, 100% Ace. He just said that he's found a couple of clients, like, when he's blended in the beard, they've gone, oh, this makes a huge difference. So,
Yeah, he's paying attention.
yeah, exactly.
At this moment in time, I'm the only thing that he's worried about. Yeah, he's paying a little bit more attention, and I guarantee you them boys will come back. Like I said before you come in, if you do the lineup or fit in the beard, right, as I said, and you've worked in shops as well, they will 90% of the time. If their beard looks shy, you just be like, go on, throw on a beard.
Yeah,
If I have
exactly.
time, straight away you're making more money.
Yeah.
More money means you get more money. It's very simple.
Even patchy beards. If it's patchy at the top, I fade it below where the patchiness is.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
like-
it's not about you, man.
It's
It's
not
about
about
Ronan. Sorry, guys.
Sorry about that, guys. Take out that whole thing. So if there's a fellow with patchier beard. No, it is true. It is true. Like with me, I have very ginger blonde hair, so it's very light there. So that's why I take my zero down below that, so it takes it straight out. Any other questions? Anything else that you would like to know?
Nah, I reckon people just want to see how you probably would take a bit of content of this after it.
Alright, so I'm going to put a bit of dust in first.
Just take some content. Let's do it.
Any content's good content, right?
So if there's a bit more length at the back, what I get the client to do is just tilt their head forward. And like this, these are quite good bottles because if you tap them, the powder comes out. Most of them you have to like pour in. So with these, you just tap the bottom and it goes straight in. So you're not pouring a load of dust onto them. Okay. Tap like that. You don't need too much at the back, to be fair. You want to get it mainly into the roots. Okay. That's why Crispy Club is the best. No. Right. Then I go to the front. In. Same thing. I'm tapping that all the way through. Now, if I'm taking photos, yes, I will use a little bit more product. Simple as. Because then it's going to look perfect. Okay.
It smells so good.
Does actually. Get in, smush it around. Smush it around, smush it around. And I've put loads of texture into the top of Kiami's hair. Okay? So it should be no problem for it to look textured. Okay? Touch it. You can see down the shape as well. Yeah. And that's nice and slick towards the front. And the same thing on the other side. Yeah. That's why I blow dry them that way and up. Show off your graduation. Okay. Okay. So I can't remember who this was, but Karen might be able to tell me. Cape on, cape off.
Yeah. Owen McCarthy does this a lot.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
That's who it's. Owen has a great analogy of cape on if you're catering to barbers because it looks cleaner. Cape off and more of the client in attracts more clients. Okay, so depending on what you're going for, do that. If you're in a shop and you want to gain loads and loads of clientele, take off the things. Show how the people are dressed because the people in the videos or people looking at your videos will be like, oh, I dress like that. Oh, that's the sort of shop that I would like. Oh, he dresses like that. You know, that's the sort of style I'm going for. So I'll take one or two with it on, take a few with it off. Okay. Make sure the logo is in the center, and make sure all the hair is off the cape and the rider, so it looks as clean as possible. Okay.
I'm just reading the question. What product are you using?
He definitely knows what it is.
It's David. He goes, what product are you using? Obviously, it's the most elite product on the market.
Yup.
Message Crispy Club on Instagram if you want a discount.
There's a spray there too that you use.
Oh yeah. I use this pre-blow dry. The best.
Cut that
I
out.
was about to say something there. Right. Okay. So settings on your phone is quite important. I think there's a video on that.
There is.
So you should already know that.
On the platform.
On the platform. On lands. Okay. So into your videos. Mine's set at 4K 120. Now that's way too high because you can see it flickers. Okay. So if I turn that down to maybe 30, right, flickers a little bit less, but not too much.
The only reason why it's flickering as well is because there's so much light in.
So much light.
behind you.
So that's not too bad actually. Right. So I'm looking at where the best lighting is. So this one here is probably the best one for me. Can I tilt this up?
Yeah, of course.
It's not going to break me.
Nah, give it some.
There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I have a couple of main focal points whenever I'm doing my content. Temple P point in the center of my video. I'll do one behind the ear, and then if it's taper or something like that, but even like this, I can go straight from the back. Okay? If it's, to be fair, if it's something like this, what I can do is sort of an angle which looks more like what you're looking at there. So kind of this area here. This. So it's showing off the fade. It's showing off nice clean look, showing off his tattoos, showing off the texture on the top. Okay? So firstly what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to tilt his head up a little bit, but down. Okay? And I'm going to go above first. This. So temple B point is in the middle.
I'm laughing at what's in the background.
Oh, I know, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll
switch them around.
Yeah,
Switch them around.
yeah. No, that's it.
Yeah, get the fridge in instead. That's so fun.
Right, so I'll actually go, I don't want to get in their way, but what I'll do is I'll actually take the video from this angle here. Okay, so use it be higher. So, can you see that? Like this. I'll probably go more so. This way. Oh, temple P point is in the middle. And I'm using my legs as like a little tripod. I'm not going in and out like that. I'm just staying stagnant. I'm showing off the haircut that way. Okay, right there we go. Right. With CapCut now, you can zoom in and zoom out of your video, so you don't need to do all this and that. Yeah. If the client is slouching, and I know Keanu doesn't do it, but if he's slouching as things are coming forward, that will kind of throw off the whole kind of what you're looking for. Okay, so what I'll get Keanu to do is put your hands behind your back like this. Get your posture nice and straight.
Like
Yeah, and now sit back on it.
on the back shoulder.
So, right, just put them down.
This is far.
That looks good, man. Looks unreal.
Right, just put them down.
I can put it behind it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, on the chair, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Right. Now, automatically, it looks much better. Posture looks much better. What else can I go through? Okay, Bob. Okay. So should have done this before, but tish with a tish. Do you have any talcum powder there, no?
Yeah.
Put my hands back. Put my hands
Yeah. No, just stand up.
My shoulder doesn't move any further.
And neither does mine. It's
Old age, right?
Why do you use talc, Ronan?
So that's what I'm going to go through now. Talc basically puts, takes any of the moisture off what's on the skin, basically. But I do use it for a couple of different reasons. So this, you can see the hair didn't come off before. You do it, takes the moisture off, takes it straight off. Okay, it's much easier. The other reason that I like to do is if you're doing with the trimmers and stuff like that, get a line up. I will put the talc like this and then do it like that. That'll give me the outline of that white look. But I can show you another way which you can do it. And whenever I'm doing my content and stuff like that, what I do is I put a bit of talcum powder on my hand. Put my hand like this. What I do is I rub it on the skin part. Right. What that does is it gives it a bit more contrast. Okay? Is it cheating? Yeah. But it is what it is. You're enhancing it. A lot of people do Photoshop and stuff like that. I'm just doing this. Okay? Other way as well is do you put up there as well?
Mine's in my bag ready to go with the razor.
No, it's okay.
Oh, that shouldn't be.
Yeah, new one. No, it's because I put one in and I didn't use it today. Just got a brand new. Let me cut those and show you how I use it. You did the first one.
That's weird why you wouldn't have used it today when you were cutting clients, but there we go.
Okay.
All good.
Got long hair today.
It's all good.
Alright. If I had a cut throat, that would go in there. And I would do that. And it's going to give me that white line. You can use the white pencils and stuff like that, but this is just an easier way if you don't have them white pencils. Right. Just going to go in and line that up. Okay. I'll take the gun off. Like a China. Now with the cape off, as I said, I'm going to go a wee bit further back and see more of what he's wearing, his tattoos, yeah? It's the same thing. So we can go down from underneath like this. And then on this side. Same thing. All right.
Superb.
Thank you very much, Keanu.
No worries.
Thank you all for watching, guys. This will be live on the platform as well. Wow, look at this guy. Wow. What a model.
Wow. Very nice.
Jeez. See you guys.
Au revoir. See you later.
Au revoir. Oh.